Brock.
Yeah.
Did you see the Star Wars show this Wednesday?
No.
Ooh, you missed out. Okay, so the Star Wars show this Wednesday, they had a lot of cool things. The Lego Freemakers Adventures. They gave you a sneak peek on the Battlefront 2 feed gameplay,
okay.
which we're going to talk about later. But they kept harping on Snoke. Like, really funny ways, I thought. Basically making fun of everyone talking about Snoke.
Okay.
At one point, Anthony Carboni, the host, they came up with, I think, the Freemaker Adventures, their schedule for June.
Yeah.
And he spelled out Snoke on the release dates. And it was quite entertaining. That being said, we will be talking about Snoke today on the show. And we have a top 5, which was suggested to us from our Facebook group.
Yeah.
Some Never Tell Me the Odds. And Luke Skywalker talk, as well as the Hollow News and a book review. Do you have a book review this week?
No, I do not.
I definitely do. You're going to want to stay tuned for that. Brock still can't read.
No.
He's learning slowly.
Yeah.
Which book are you on now? Which Dr. Seuss book?
The Places You Will Go.
Have you been to any of those places?
Nah.
In all earnest, Brock reads more than anybody else I've ever met. Well, you or Andrew Fantasia.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I called him today. It's his birthday today. Shout out to Andrew Fantasia for his birthday. And he was reading. That's what he took the day off to read.
No, what I'm not understanding why we're reading is you're bearing the lead. This is Rebel Scum Podcast.
What? I'm James. This is
Brock. And we're here to bring the Star Wars news.
I forgot to say the name of the show.
That's okay.
It's only been
I'll keep you on track.
It's only been 45 weeks. I can't remember everything. You can't.
Anyways, but yeah, no, I do not have comics. I've been very busy with my job that pays money. So I'm going to take that money when I get it and buy books.
We're going to buy books.
I haven't seen my comic store in like a month and a half.
There's rumors that there might be a Last Jedi trailer in front of a movie this summer. What movie is that? It's great. That's a great
Kong Skull Island.
Skull Island. No, there is.
Surprise! It already came out.
Is it Transformers? I think there's like, surprise! There's gonna be a Transformers. I don't think we're gonna see one though. I think we've seen the only one we're gonna see for a while now. Maybe, but you know what? Rogue One, we got that one in the Olympics at the end of the summer. So
yeah,
that was our second episode. If anybody out there is counting, that was number 2. We were not on YouTube at the time.
That's
on SoundCloud.
One of the episodes I've re-listened to because it's on my phone.
So. How do we sound?
Fine, but it's like some of the things we guessed on that movie was like so off. It's hilarious.
Well, in fairness to us, we guessed before the reshoots.
Yeah.
It's fun. Whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares? We're terrible people. Before we get the show started, we want to tell you about we have a t-shirt sale coming up on our TeePublic store, and that t-shirt is of these shirts right here. Can you see them? Those shirts right there. These 3 will only be available. Brock and I both share a birthday together. Yeah. We are twins. If you didn't know that, no, you do.
Separated by 3 years.
Separated by 3 years and hair color and parents. But these shirts will only be available for those 24 hours of June 21st. By that whole week, 21st to the 23rd, every t-shirt will be on sale for $14 on our TeePublic site.
Wow. And for our American fans, that's like nothing in your monies.
Right?
Or is it? How does that TeePublic work? I haven't bought anything from them, so I don't know. We get our shirts.
No, we don't.
You just give me shirts.
I order your shirts. But thank you everybody that has bought. We've actually
it's awesome.
Quite a few. It's crazy to think. We're going to have a design contest coming up for t-shirts also. So stay tuned. Next week we'll get into details on that one. For sure. Do you want to get into quickly the box that we got?
Yes, we got a mail call. Mail call. Da, 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 da. So from our avid listener, Jason Brothers. Is it Brothers?
Jason Brothers, shut up.
Jason Brothers from North Tonawanda. Hey, Lockport Gambino Ford. He sent us stuff because we talk about how we don't get pops.
Yeah, we don't have
Walgreens in Canada, so we don't
say we don't get pops.
We don't get pops. These are just Hummels. So when there's a Walgreens exclusive, which arguably I think Walgreens gets some of the best Funko exclusives, we can't get it. When we went to the Orlando, like we're like Walgreens. When can we go to Walgreens?
True story. Aaron and I, we dropped Rob, Andrew, and Brock off to go in line the first day of celebration because we knew the line was crazy. So we dropped them off. Aaron and I went to go park the car. And we actually met up outside of a Walgreens because instead of going to the line, they went into the Walgreens instead.
It was worth it. And that's how we have Plo Koon.
That's how you got Plo Koon right behind you. You can't see him on.
So he sent us Mace Windu, which is very, very exciting to us.
Yes.
We were like, were we at Celebrate? We're still in Orlando. And I was like, look, this is my phone.
Yeah, it came after. Yeah.
Look.
I was very excited because Mace Windu is one of my favorite characters.
So I've already opened it.
Yeah, Brock, it's like Christmas morning.
Oh. There's 2 pops in here, too.
There's 2 pops.
What?
Are you serious?
Oh, my God.
Are you serious?
Not only do we now own Mace Windu, it'd be so awesome if there's nothing in here. Mace Windu, that's so glorious. It looks like it's in good shape. Mail took care of it.
Look at that.
We have R2 from Jabba's skiff, which is fantastic. As you can see here, we already have droids. I mean, I'm a big droid fan. Well, we both are, but some of these
awesome.
are. But there's a note here. Should I read it, or is it just some, like, waybill? No, it's a note. All right, should I read it? Hello, scumbags. I just wanted to thank you for all the hard work put into the show. Keep up the good work, and looking forward to your videos. I had an extra R2, so I tossed him in with the mace.
Thank you.
Hope all is well, and may the force be with you, Jason. Jason, you're fantastic.
Yeah, may the force be with you. Thanks a lot. This is awesome. I'm actually kind of speechless at it all.
And this is like an exclusive from the Smuggler's Bounty, which was
right there.
I forget which one that was. Was it just Jabba's Palace? That was the title of it? Anyways, awesome. Like, I love that.
So, thank you so much. I'm flustered now.
And speaking of Smuggler's Bounty, I don't know if it was intentional. They've been pretty much telling us what the pops are now in those
This
boxes.
one was weird because you had to swipe, though. I don't think it was...
No, they've done that. I've seen that on Instagram. Okay. I think that was just the first one I sent you. They revealed that one of the... Well, we do know if it's not a big pop, it's usually you get 2 pops. So we don't know what the second one is. But the one they revealed is C-3PO from Phantom Menace with exposed wires. And I'm like, oh, God, I'm going to have to get this.
I'm in.
So we might just get 2 each. Or, well, 1 each. Because, like, I know you want one.
Well, we can get it for the set.
I guess, but we can't, like, well... Look at the set. Anyways,
yeah, but
so that's super exciting.
We got this Jar Jar thing here. Nobody really... I'm the only one that wants that.
The Zoom Zooms. Thank you again, Jason. That's awesome. We will be sending you a exclusive Rebel Scum shirt or
it's a gift
bumper sticker.
It's just a bumper sticker.
It's a bumper sticker, and it says, "My child goes."
I love New Hampshire.
Yeah, I love New Hampshire.
I actually, you know what? My first minivan that I had a bumper sticker that said "I heart New Hampshire" on it.
That's awesome.
I was in New Hampshire, and I got it.
It's
road trips.
Sweet.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Let's get to the real stuff.
Don't move it too far ahead. People can't see it.
Oh, right.
Boom. Look,
graphics.
We have a new computer, so the graphics are now dissolving.
Ooh la la.
And let me know if you like that. Also, guys, before we get into this Luke's connection to Snoke topic, follow us on Facebook, Rebel Scum Podcast, Twitter, Rebel Scum Cast, Instagram, Rebel Scum Podcast. Were you on anything else?
No, we haven't on Snapchat yet.
We throw out ideas. Like, we're at our top 5 today from our Facebook page, so please join us on there, join the conversation, and let's have fun talking Star Wars.
We should put it on LinkedIn and see if people take it seriously.
I think this is my number 1 on my LinkedIn.
Hire interns.
It's definitely on my resume. It's number 1 on my resume. But we have some cool things coming up. Also, we're going to be doing some more collaborations with Den Nerds, obviously, and also some other people that we will talk about later on.
Ooh la la, so Nerdist. No.
No, we got some cool ones, I promise. Anyway, guys, so Luke's connection to Snoke. There has been a lot of talk coming out that Luke has a compass and all these things, and he is on Acto, but why is he on Acto? And Snoke wants Luke because when Luke returns, the Last Jedi will rise, and why is Snoke worried about that? Before we get into the rumors that are going on, Brock, do you think it's possible that Luke and Snoke are both cut from the same cloth?
Possibly. I mean, I think we've said before that maybe Snoke is I think sometimes we've said that it's like maybe Snoke was a student of Luke or something like along those lines or something like that. Or I don't know, like but he says he's been around forever. I don't know how it works. But possibly, in what regards though? Just like they're both Jedi or Force wielders.
Yeah, could they both be after the same end game, but just viewing it differently?
Possibly because their intentions and what they're up to is very hidden on both sides. Yeah. From what we've seen, Luke could be not the hero that we remember.
We've seen twice as much of Snoke as we have of Luke at this point in this new trilogy.
And it's funny how much we talk about Snoke, and you only get like 6 minutes of him.
I think that's why the Star Wars show was kind of making fun of it, because Pablo Hidalgo came out and he said, "Snoke is not a human." Uproar. Yeah. Now he's Plagueis, 100% Plagueis. Now he is not Mace Windu. Well, this is just what people are.
No, yeah.
Well, because that's what people want him to be.
I guess, but it's just like, at the same note, like, we're talking about a sci-fi movie, and it's like, if he's not human, that's not a far-fetched thing, because it's just like, it just means he's not
but I think he's humanoid.
Well, a lot of things are humanoid, too, right? We don't even know the way he appears is that the way he was born. You know what I mean? I mean, 1, he could be disfigured. 2, he could be super old, so we don't. It's whatever. And now, well, we know he's super tall. Like, we really don't know nothing. It's really, right now, is the quest for answers.
Yep.
And we're not going to get any for a while, because I think if any of the new trailers that come out for Last Jedi between now and December 15th is, like, if it's like Force Awakens, it will show us things, but it's not going to explain anything, because I argue that we couldn't figure out what typically happened in Force Awakens until we saw it. You know what I mean? Like, we knew the obvious things were going to happen. There would be a battle, and good might vanquish evil, or blah, 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 blah. Or we're going to meet new characters. But, like, I know people will say no, but, like, I didn't think Kylo Ren was the Han and Leia's son. I mean, yeah, we know they have kids in the Legends, but it's a different character. How am I supposed to know? Of course, in Star Wars, everybody thinks about everything. So, yeah, somebody says, like, oh, he's a Solo. Okay. But nothing gave that away in the trailers, arguably.
In the trailers, yeah. Do you think that as Star Wars fans, everybody, we tend to overthink Star Wars?
Oh, my gosh.
Because Star Wars is, and I love Star Wars, and you love Star Wars, and everybody listening loves Star Wars, it's very simple.
Yeah.
Like, Star Wars films are very simple.
Yeah.
And so do we try to overcomplicate what's going to happen with them?
Oh, big time. I mean, I just made up what I just said like 30 seconds ago. Like, I'm just rambling when you boil it down because, like I just said, we have like 6 more months before we know really anything.
Time is ticking. We are almost there. We are almost halfway. What day is it today? The 15th, 10th, 8th, 9th, 8th? It's 10th. It's somewhere around. We are almost exactly 6 months to go.
Yeah.
We may or may not be seeing it in New York City.
Maybe.
Maybe Buffalo.
Maybe Buffalo.
For real. I'm not joking.
We will go to Amherst. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, to answer your question, like, do we overthink this? Oh, big time. But that's kind of been part of the fandom since the 70s.
Isn't that part of what makes it fun, too?
Oh, true. I mean, they just create more and more content. So you're just like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if this happened? I mean, I always say that Force Awakens is just a Star Wars fans' love letter to George Lucas. It's like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if they did this? Pew, 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 pew. Like you can't tell me Han and Chewbacca are together that long, and then in the Force Awakens, the first time he shot the bowcaster's like, oh, I like this. I'm like, no, that's like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if he shot the gun? That'd be crazy.
There's a lot of fan service, but
for sure. But,
that's how you get people people back. I'm sorry. There's a giant bee balloon in here, and it's really distracting me.
I can't get it.
You can't get
Somebody gave me like not a B, but like a B.
the letter B because
for Brock. And brilliant.
So anyway, the rumors, and I believe this video started. I could be wrong. Do not hate me if I am, but I believe it was a Mike Zero video. I have not seen the video. I've only read articles on it that he believes that Luke has something of Snoke's in his possession,
right?
And it could be something of Vader's that Snoke needs because with it, Luke will be able to destroy the First Order or something like that. Like he could take down the First Order.
Yeah.
And possibly that's what Kylo Ren wants. So that's the possibility that it could be something of Luke's.
So a protagonist and an antagonist are butting heads. That's not. I'm not shooting it down, but like we know Snoke is curious or desperate to find Luke Skywalker. So I don't think you can argue or you can't say yes or no to that theory because it's like it's not really saying much. I guess yes, I agree because we have proof. Yeah, that they want something. What it is, who knows? But we've talked in the past that like we think there's definitely going to be that there's going to be artifacts that are involved because I don't know.
Well, because they've established in the books and the comics that Luke has been looking for artifacts in the 30 years between films.
That he hypothetically might be at a Jedi temple, and
he could be going there possibly to even learn about Snoke. Because I feel that Snoke is a fallen will. This is where I'm leaning on, and if I'm wrong, great. But I think he's going to be a fallen will, and he might be an origin of the dark side as it is, and perhaps Luke has gone to this Jedi temple to learn about this fallen will.
How many times have you explained to me what the Book of Wills and what a will is?
None.
Oh, I thought we talked about that once.
Of course we do.
Because I still do not comprehend what it is. I understand
the way I see it is he's Satan. He's a fallen angel. Is the way I look at it. Like Snoke is a fallen angel, and he is what he is the creation of the dark side itself.
Yeah.
And that's what Snoke is. And now, after all this time, because in the books something dark was calling out to the Acolytes of Beyond and Emperor Palpatine, not Vader though.
Yeah.
And this is just speculation, and tomorrow Pablo Hidalgo could tweet no. But anyway, at this point, this is what I'm thinking. And so, but now after he couldn't get Palpatine the way he wanted to get Palpatine, so now he's manifesting himself into something, and he has that black hyper crystal for a reason, and we're going to see that play out. And you mentioned that you read the that comic, the Dr. Aphra Star Wars crossover, the Screaming Citadel.
Right.
That there were vampire type creatures that can suck souls and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And that could be them kind of guiding us in this direction of the potential. Not that Snoke would be that exactly, but it gives you that idea. It opens that up to the Star Wars universe. That now Star Wars is accepting that type of creature to let you know that Snoke is coming in and possibly doing that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I just, it's like the acolytes of the Beyond and Book of the Wills or just Wills in general. It's like, how are they going to explain that in the movie?
Well, that's the thing with that, though, is you never have to. Because if you remember, Obi-Wan Kenobi talking about the prequels is summed up in a paragraph.
Oh, for sure.
Luke just has to say to Rey or something like, he was the first time the dark side ever presented itself, blah, blah. And that's it. And it's very quick, and it gets right to the point, and everyone's like, oh, okay, Snoke is he's evil. And that's it. Because all you need in the movies is Snoke to be evil. You got the books and the comics and the video games, and then you play out that story all you want. Like the Wills. The Wills are mentioned in Rogue One, so that tells me that we're going to get those going forward at some point. Something with the Wills, with the Book of the Wills, Journal of the Wills, that's going to be coming into play at some point. Right. You let me know. And Kyber Crystals as well. So now you've established those in film because they were never in film before. It never mattered. Now they're in there. So now the people that aren't us that don't know about those, now they know. Now they're like, oh, yeah.
I know it might sound doubtful, but like now that I think about it, it kind of makes sense because like we're given a trailer where the end is like the Jedi must come to an end. And then we see these books, so it's like, and we have talked over and over again that Luke is on a journey. He's searching for he's have found something, or he's looking for something. Finding these books might be a revelation into the Jedi, the Sith, to the Force in general, that he is now, it's changed his mind on something, or he's now jaded. So yeah, like I guess I can accept that then. So yeah, cool.
Let's go on
December
to
15th.
This Jedi must end.
Yeah.
I still think it's because, and somebody wrote an article, and I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was, but I saw it quickly on Facebook earlier. And there was an article about how Yoda was actually the villain of the prequel trilogy because his teachings were so off. And the thing is, I don't think he was the villain, but I think he was misguided. And I think he learned on his time with his time on Dagobah that he was misguided and he was wrong, and the Jedi way was wrong. And I've said this many times on this show. But that's what I think. And I really think that's why the Jedi must end, because they're off. And the Jedi, I don't think the Jedi will end because, like, that Star Wars is Jedi. It's Jedi.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like you can say Sith, but it's Jedi. Sith comes up later on, but
it's
light side, dark side, and Jedi is a term we use for the light side. And lightsabers are super cool, and you can't just get rid of it unless you're ending it all now. But if they're not going to end it now, because even if they end it, even if they're bold enough to say Episode 9 is the end of the Star Wars universe as you know it, we will go back in time and we will tell stories that way as a cheat. The problem is, though, in 10 years, when those movies when someone comes up, somebody who's 5 now who loves these movies and ends up becoming a great filmmaker is like, I want to make a Star Wars movie about Rey and Finn, and then Disney's like, well, okay.
Yeah, I know. Like, it'll never come to an end because they're like, well, we're never gonna stop making plastic lightsabers. So, that alone.
I sent you that picture where the Anakin lightsaber is now the Rey lightsaber at the store.
Yeah.
It was. I had an Anakin one and a Rey one beside each other. I was like, mind blown. But that's true though. Yeah. That's how it is, and that's why I think even if they are to say it's going to end, it's not actually going to end. So you keep Jedi around. You just alter them. You alter their mindset.
Yeah, like they're not erasing the Force because you can't do that, right? So
so this other leak that came out. Holy snappers! Apparently, Force ghosts can now be like killed. This is a rumor.
Wow.
But yeah, so this is how stupid this rumor is. So the rumor comes out, and I believe this is the one that came with the Lego Snoke. But apparently it's a disgruntled Lucasfilm employee. Came out and was like, I hate Lucasfilm. I'm going to ruin the movie. So they said this whole plot. But then they said, Force ghosts can be destroyed. Like killed. Like you can kill a Force ghost. How do you feel about that, Brock? Because it's weirding me out.
Yeah, I guess. But it's just like the whole point of becoming a Force ghost was like you have become one with the Force. So it's like, it's not even. It's like they're not Ghostbusters. It's like they exist in the Force, and they've decided to appear to certain people, right? Like, I don't know. I'm not against it, but like we've never seen a Force ghost do much besides just be there when like a character's like alone, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that doesn't mean we can't reinvent it or expand upon it, because now why wouldn't, like, we now can make the Star Wars movies that we've always been dreaming of. So it's like, well, okay, like Alec Guinness is a ghost because he didn't really want to do much in these movies, but like, okay, we still have that concept. Can we do this and bring Yoda back? Can we do this and bring Anakin back in either, older Anakin or Hayden Christensen Anakin? Like, it's not a bad idea. Like,
part of the rumor too was that Rey will fight a sea monster, which I talked about on Flying Casual, I think.
Well, yeah,
like the Moby Dick. And then actually, when she defeats it, Ghost Anakin appears.
That'd be cool.
I'm totally down for that, but I don't know. I don't know what the plan is on that end. I think it's kind of like, if you kill off Force Ghosts, where does it stop?
Yeah,
like where like.
I mean, like you've destroyed death in a sense.
Yeah, like Obi-Wan says that he can't help him fight Vader, And I like that because you can't just have Force Ghosts showing up either just to do things that humans can't do, that the living can't do. So you create boundaries for them, but I don't think you need to kill them.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen the film, so maybe you do have to kill them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they get corrupted.
I'm all for doing something with Force Ghosts in it, but do we need to destroy them? Like, isn't there enough characters in there that you can like mess around with? Like,
I don't know.
And do they really die? Like, what if it's like the Force lets you see an image? You know, like, it's sort of like how you talk about spirituality. It's like, yes, for Christian faith, it's like you die, your soul goes to heaven, and you're rewarded for being as good a person as you possibly can. But we always, when you're younger, or just media makes us like, oh, we go and sit on a cloud and we get wings and a halo. It's like, but then it's like you're not. It's like it's your state of mind, your new level of consciousness. So it's like if you die and are so attuned to the Force that you fully embrace it and become one with the Force, which is dumb because I think they say whenever a Jedi passes away, there's like he's now one with the Force. But to attain this new level of being one with the Force, it's like if you're able to shoot at a Force Ghost and they like evaporated or exploded when you shot them, they're not tangible. So it's like, could they just not reappear somewhere else? Or I'm
liking the idea of Mace Windu on a cloud right now.
Like, what's the science?
This pod is over.
Of Force Ghosts. I don't know.
I don't know. I just thought it was that part of they said things about Finn or whatever. But that part stuck out to me because everything, a lot of it actually kind of was in line with what we've been hearing rumor-wise. I think nothing concrete, obviously. But the killing the Force Ghost, that was the first time I've ever heard. I don't know if you guys have, but that was the first time I ever heard of that. And that really caught my eye. And I was like, that is bizarre. That's what that is.
How bizarre.
But not as bizarre as the next two people we're going to talk about. Vice Admiral Holdo and DJ Jazzy Jeff. Wow, we were on point on that.
Who else is a DJ?
Khaled.
DJ Khaled. We're a different generation.
We go.
Another one.
So, this Vice Admiral Holdo is played by
Laura Dern.
And DJ is played by
Candace Cameron.
Benicio del Toro. Question, Brock. Who are these two characters and do they know of one another?
I don't know, and maybe. Next topic. No. I feel like DJ seems to be a very mysterious character. They keep calling him the Man in Black, or originally that's what they were calling him. And just from looking at his picture and the fact that we don't really know what his name means or what his real name is or I feel like they might be separate. I feel like Vice Admiral Holdo is going to be like the New Republic's, or is she a Resistance fighter?
New
Republic. She's going to be the version of Hux for the New Republic as he is for the First Order. Where perhaps she is a tripping block to something our characters have to do. Sort of like she goes by the rules and you can't go outside of it. So like a person like Kylo Ren who's like, I can do whatever I want, and like Hux is like, That's what it could possibly be.
Hux is Newman from Jurassic Park.
But
I like that idea.
But yeah, I still haven't gotten the Vanity Fair issue yet. I think it's out now.
It is.
I like the look of both of them. It's cool. I think Holdo is interesting because she's like, matching hair, matching dress. I'm sure she could wear a different color clothing. But I do like that because I was thinking about it. It's like Star Wars typically isn't bright colors. Does that make sense? Like our main cast is usually like earth tones or black or white, like very definitive things or very like muted things, I guess. Maybe I guess for like Lando was probably one of the flashiest characters in the original trilogy. Otherwise, it's like it's blue, it's white, it's gray, it's brown. So to see a character like that with the bright pink hair and the bright pink, well, not bright pink, it's probably magenta or whatever. It's interesting. So I'm curious what and people compare it to Trinky or from Hungry Games. Yeah. So I'm interested. Maybe it's nothing, but I'm very interested to understand what her costume is. But yeah, I don't feel like I know anything more than what we talked about last week. So it's like, I do think that I think there's a pretty good chance that she is not going to be a helpful character.
Yeah.
So your thoughts?
I have the same thoughts, to be honest. And one thing that I heard, I haven't actually seen last week's Collider Jedi Council yet, but apparently I saw this on the Den of Nerds video that he did today, I think. I don't know. Check it out.
Yeah.
But he mentioned that, Christian Harloff mentions that he thinks that these two characters could be secret Sith. I don't think that's going to be the case. I totally would 100% be down to see that.
Oh, yeah.
Though. Like,
that'd be great.
Benicio del Toro and Laura Dern pulling out red lightsabers. I'm like, in. I'm totally in. Totally fine. I don't think we're going to see Sith, though. I just think the Sith time, I think they ended with Palpatine and Vader. I think the Sith ended at that point, and now we're seeing a new era. Because unlike the Jedi, the Sith, as much as they were Sith way, way back, we really didn't know of them in film form about called the Sith until the Phantom Menace, and they hadn't been around for 1,000 years up until that point. So I think right now they take a lull on the Sith aren't around, and then maybe later on they come back, and that's why Snoke, he could be the origin of the dark side and not be the Sith, and he just kind of created the Sith as his own little thing. So that's how I think you get around that more than the Jedi themselves.
Yeah, I can see that.
All I know is this could be the best acted Star Wars movie we've ever had.
Yeah.
Just seriously, this could be fantastic.
It feels weird. I don't know why it feels weird, because we've already had a new trilogy with the prequels. But there's something different about there almost seems like a more of a legitimacy now, because it's not just Lucasfilm by itself. It's owned by Disney, and it's like it's got this clout. So it's like they're putting in these new actors or new characters, but they're performed by like high, like A-list actors, and sort of like, is that gonna kill Star Wars or like the magic of Star Wars? Because it's like, do you see DJ or do you see Benicio del Toro?
I think you're going to see DJ, because I think the thing is they haven't gotten like Brad Pitt or George Clooney. They've gotten Benicio del Toro and Laura Dern.
Yeah, I guess Laura Dern's not exactly.
Like, no, they're great actors.
Top of the list.
They're in stuff, but they're not like if anything, you'd be like, oh, it's from Jurassic Park.
And that's a criticism on their acting, but you know what I mean.
Great.
Like it's like when you watch a Tom Cruise movie, you're like, oh, that's Tom Cruise. Yeah. Like it's.
By the way, you going to see The Mummy?
Am I going to see it?
Yeah.
Maybe at some point.
I'm seeing it right after we're done this. I'm not actually. I still haven't seen Wonder Woman. Did you see Wonder Woman?
No.
You have no time. You haven't even read anything
yet.
All right, so we're both in agreement that they're going to be awesome characters played by awesome actors. Now it's time for a little segment we like to call...
Never tell me the odds.
Wait, that's all I know. The odds today are brought to you by Funko Pop.
No. Funko Pops.
I shouldn't even say that they're not. They never send me anything. You know what? I've lost every Twitter contest. I subscribe, I like, I retweet. I can't get any love.
No.
And I'm like, nobody's going to want this pop. And they always do. Anyway.
I told them to come out with a big Starklighter X-Wing pilot, and that seemed to have worked. It was 3 years ago, but whatever.
I'm sure that was you. I told them, I want Revenge of the Sith Anakin. I want Watto. And I want Anakin in a pod racer.
Yeah.
Hit me up. Those are the only ones I want. They're releasing some really odd. We're gonna get into it later.
Yeah.
Okay, odds. Let's get to the odds. Luke, first odd. Luke will refer to Rey as father. Oh, at some point, not throughout the entire thing. Like if she is a reincarnate of the Chosen One, he might be like, "You are my father."
I'm going to go 25% because I don't want it to happen, and I feel it's the worst choice ever. I know I'm going to get slack on.
I love it.
I just personally don't like the idea. It could happen. 3 out of 4
Actually,
ain't
no,
bad.
on Flying Casual this week, you said you liked the idea of Rey being a chosen one.
What was that again? It was something Josh said. I'm like, yeah, I can agree with that.
I said it.
Whatever, Josh, James, they're both James.
I actually don't remember. All I know is one of us, somebody, it might have been nobody. It might have just been
I do remember what you mean.
And you were like, yeah, I can make it.
It's like, okay, I can buy. No, but still, like, it's just, I don't like it, so.
31%. I also agree with you. Yeah, Poe.
If it happens, it happens. Like, but if you're gonna ask my opinion, that's
yeah. But if it happens in the movie, you're gonna love it because even though you say, "Oh, if this happens, I'm gonna hate it." No, if Luke is like, "Rey, I'm your father," like that's the first line. You're not walking out of the theater like you say you are. You're gonna be sitting there like this. I love this movie, but I hate you.
I'm gonna be like, boo.
No, you're not. You're gonna be like, I need more popcorn. Oh, God, you're gonna be totally bad. You're gonna end up buying comics and books.
Comics and books.
Our next odd, Poe will lead the Resistance at some point after 8, after The Last Jedi. I'm going to go 51%. I think it would be cool to see. I'm not sure if they're going to go in that direction because I don't know how much they really want to push Poe. I think they do a lot. I think, honestly, the reshoots that they had, remember when there was a whole talk about the reshoots? I think it was, honestly, for Poe and for Phasma. I think they wanted to get more Poe because people really like Poe, and I think they wanted more Phasma because of the disappointment people had with Phasma in the first one. So that's where I think the big reshoots were. So I'm going to go 51%. Not full Brock because I think it's going to happen.
I'm going to go lower. I'm going to go... My initial is 40%, which is not much lower. But, like, I get it because it's like he is part of the Resistance. But we're forgetting that, Finn has joined the Resistance after and we hope that he's going to be very active in the movie once he's healed. And then we also have Rose. And then we have these characters of Holdo and DJ, and we don't know their intentions. And they could very easily become part. Maybe the newer ones, not so much. It's definitely got to be someone that's an established Resistance fighter. But I hold back on Poe because it's like, granted, I'm reading the comics, so it's like, what happens to that almost doesn't count. But like, I don't see him as someone that wants to stay in the base. He wants to be on the front lines. And to lead, you really shouldn't be on the front lines. You could.
But that could be also a character arc. It's like, you have to lead, and he's like, I'm not a leader.
Right.
That could be a thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I'm just saying.
It would, Poe Dameron movie? That might be cool. I don't know. They have comics. Just make the comics into movies.
Those never translate.
Comics.
I don't know if you've seen X-Men Apocalypse.
Wow.
All right. Have you?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Final odd for the day.
Yeah.
Snoke is Plagueis. I'm going to go 17% because I think it would be really cool to see him as Plagueis. So don't get me wrong on that one. But the other thing is, how many people know who Plagueis is?
Yeah, exactly.
Is Plagueis going to have an impact on anybody? Will anybody care? Will the characters in the film care? Why would they care? Why does it make sense for him to be Plagueis? These are all questions that need to be answered, and we need to figure it out. And you can't answer those questions in a movie, so you have to tell me leading into the movie. Mm-hmm. And that's why I just don't think that's where they're going to go with it.
I'm going to go full Brock on this one, mostly because I just do not know. I'm not against Plagueis being mentioned. I don't know if it'll be weird, but then it's a kind of easy out, if you want to put it that way, because it's like, well, we mentioned him in this. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, it's... Yeah. You don't have to establish... I don't think people that aren't active Star Wars fans will be like, oh, yeah, I remember that.
Wouldn't it be totally cool if, sometime down the road, they're like, oh, by the way, we're going to be doing a Plagueis novel, a new Plagueis novels, and then you're like... That would make me stop and say, why? Yeah. And that would be but then he's not Plagueis. That'd be the ultimate tease.
When you think about it, like... The Plagueis conversation is very similar to the I fought with your father in the Clone Wars conversation, or it's just like, you could, that could be a cool story. I would like to know more about that. And then we got out Plagueis. Yeah. Whatever.
Even if Plagueis is part of who manipulated the midichlorians to create Anakin, there's certain ways you can make this a really cool thing. I'm just... I'm starting to convince myself now that could be it. Mm-hmm. But I think Pablo Hidalgo did say, let the new characters be new characters.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think he was also referring to Holdo and DJ more than anything. Right. But, yeah. So you're going full Brock on that one.
Yeah, because I really don't know. Books and or comics.
This is your favorite segment of the show.
Yep.
Because you haven't... when was the last time you read a Star Wars book?
Like 2 weeks ago when
Been
I
a
did
little
Screaming Skittles. Screaming Skittles.
Been a little while. I have one that just came out yesterday, this Wednesday. It's this one right here. It's Darth Vader issue 1. Issue 2 comes out.
Hold that up again. That is the worst bag and board I have ever seen. Because that thing's going to move around. It's too big.
Yeah, this thing's garbage. What are you going to do? Whatever.
Anyway, so Darth Vader.
Right here. You can borrow that if you want.
Number 1.
Number 1. Number 2 comes out June 21st, which I thought was kind of weird. And then Darth Maul issue number 4. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I went to the comic shop because at the back of my comic it said May 24th issue 4 was coming out for Darth Maul. When the comic shop wasn't there, then I look online, it said June 21st. The guy at the comic shop said it's June 21st. Why is everything coming out June 21st? I don't understand.
Who knows? There was a publishing issue.
It makes no sense. Anyway, so this issue, it looks beautiful. I think the artwork is fantastic. It picks up right after Revenge. This is going to be heavily spoilers if you haven't read it. It's not that long, don't worry. It picks up right after Revenge of the Sith with the no, and you see Padme being choked, and Palpatine kind of says that Vader killed Padme, and he says that you feel the pain, you're in a lot of pain, use that pain now. And then you see the Empire kind of telling everybody that, telling the all of Coruscant that they're free from the Jedi. They're no longer slaves to the Jedi. And then the whole issue is about Palpatine kind of getting Vader to create his own lightsabers. Right. And so you see this great Jedi purge of lightsabers. They're all the lightsabers from the Jedi Temple. Everything is being thrown in this fire, and they're burning it all. And there's no more lightsabers anywhere. So Palpatine says, I could give you one of those, but you're not allowed. You have to get your own lightsaber. You have to kill a Jedi and take his. You have to take a lightsaber.
Right.
So he drops him off on this random planet, and that's the end of it, by the way.
Yeah.
And he drops him on the planet and says, "Oh, I had a shuttle for you here. The shuttle's gone. Good luck." And Palpatine leaves, and then you see these two people who found the shuttle. Like, this is a nice shuttle, yeah. And then Vader shows up and kills them, and it ends. And it's awesome, except for the fact that it was $5-6, and it's like 2 pages. Like, it's really, really short. Like, and I understand you're telling me a story, but I want a little bit more in it. Like, it's pretty. I thought it was thick for a comic.
It does feel a little thicker. It's $4.99, which is not it's
not unusual.
Canadian. It's not a usual price, but
like half of it is this nonsense. Bloopity.
It's the gamble of new comics where it's like, but like the story's like, eh.
But the artwork is.
Yeah, the artwork is very nice. Cameron Coley, forget his first name. Yeah. Charles Soule, though, like, he's been doing really good stuff with Star Wars. He did the Lando, he's doing Poe Dameron.
This is really good. It's just empty. It's like you're setting me up, and then there's no pay. Like, the thing that was my problem with the Darth Maul issue 3 more than any of the other ones, and even the first one to an extent, is there's no payoff in these comics. Yeah. It's like, okay, we're gonna have an arc. I get it, but you still have to like give me some meat in there, and just. I was really looking forward to it because people were saying how good it was, and that the build up and the explanation, and of course they have to mention that the lightsaber is red because it bleeds. Yeah, but it was really cool. It just it stopped so short of going further, and that was my issue with it. My issue with the issue was that it was a little quick. I guess like it didn't feel complete. I guess it's not. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's. First issues always, and especially in Star Wars, just seem sort of light. Cause it's sort of like, here it is, but like you're going to do 4 more of it. I wonder sometimes if it has to somehow match up with the release of something in a movie or something like that, where it's like, we can't do this. So it's like, okay, I have a story and I get to this point, which is going to be a huge reveal or something to do that will change canon or like make canon, and then Okay, you can't do that till this point. So it's like maybe sometimes they're just I'm just hypothesizing on that one. But
I would recommend the trade. Just wait for the trade.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, can't be awful because it's like what you said is like, oh, he had to go get his own lightsaber, and did you mention that they burned all the lightsabers and so like that's why Yoda doesn't have a lightsaber. Like,
Yoda's gets burnt. So if you thought that Luke's kyber crystal in Return of the Jedi was Yoda's, apparently it's not. I still think it's Qui-Gon. I think it'd be cool if it was Qui-Gon's.
And then also that the comic mentions that like he says kyber you can only have till you got a kyber crystal that bleeds. So like that's another instance of it.
My thing is, and I really like the Obi-Wan and Anakin series, but I bought that in trade.
Yeah.
I never bought it weekly, so I can't. So I would recommend the trade. I would just wait 6 months.
Oh, for sure.
The trade. That's how I feel. All right, let's move on to
Holo News.
Live from Coruscant.
Hey.
What's first on the docket?
Somebody robbed Rancho Cucamonga. No, what is it? Rancho Obi-Wan? If you don't know, Rancho Obi-Wan is a place. Basically, it's just a place where they have tons of Star Wars memorabilia. The owner, I should have pulled up the story, has been he used to be part of like the Star Wars fan. Like he actually, I think, worked for Lucasfilm or like worked for merchandising for Star Wars. So he's got a lot of things through the years. And he's created this place where you can go. I think it's somewhere. Really should open the story. But you can go there and you can go and look around and see like there's like 9,000 different pieces or something like that of just Star Wars memorabilia from the beginning of the Star Wars merchandising to today. And what happened was he was robbed. About 100 pieces of Star Wars memorabilia or 120 pieces have been taken away from him. Steve Sansweet, that's the name of the owner, and that's who you can see there if you're watching us on YouTube. That a trusted friend of his stole a dozen of items worth $200,000 from his 40-year collection. His friend's name is Carl Cunningham. Apparently has been arrested, but now they can't find the pieces. So he wrote a letter to tell the internet and the fans, if you come across these type of pieces online, because apparently they found a few of them, let him know. So check out that story and see if you can find stuff. I mean, I don't purchase a lot of things I find.
No, it'd be stuff you'd find probably on eBay or like an Amazon from a third-party seller.
So
just random stuff. But look at that list. See what you can get. He was a great guy. He was at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah.
You could do a tour of the little booth he had there. It was fantastic.
So yeah, if you ever want to know about more, look that stuff up because that's I'm sure a must for all Star Wars fans. So apparently it's been revealed that Episode 9 will have a great ending. Let me open it. Is it Colin Trevorrow?
Yeah, Trevorrow, the director of Jurassic World,
was interviewed,
and Safety Not
and
Guaranteed.
he says what he's writing the script. Yeah. He's directing. Is he writing the script?
No, I think there's it was going to be Rian Johnson, but I don't know who's writing it
He's
anymore.
seen what they've got so far because the three of those directors have been sort of involved since 2015, and he told someone in an interview that it will be a very satisfying ending. So great. I guess I could go in more detail on that, but like. It sounds to me like a Star Wars fan that's saying, don't worry, guys, it's going to be okay.
Yeah, I think people were just worried about the way they're going to handle Carrie Fisher's departure from the franchise.
For
and
sure.
He was basically saying, we got this.
Yeah. So, I mean, I did like in this article, it's like, will it top the previous two trilogy endings of an Ewok party and Darth Vader's infamous no? It's going to be tough to top those masterpieces, which I'm like, are you saying that sarcastically? Because, like, those are two things that are, like... it's a 50-50. It's a full Brock on if people like it. You know what I mean? Like, I think, like, you know, it's him screaming, no, but when they redid whatever they did in the Blu-ray, people are like, this is dumb now, or like, or when he screams no in Revenge of the Sith, people are like, oh, cheesy. But I'm like, I don't know, it's...
Yeah, people just like to complain.
Yeah, so...
There'll be no complaining because Episode 9 is going to be awesome because Ewoks are returning.
Yeah, like,
Snoke
why
is wicked.
don't you like Ewoks? Relax. Anyways.
Snoke is wicked.
Tandy Newton apparently is signed to be in Han Solo. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Very exciting. Tandy Newton, actress of many accolades, I guess you say. Most notably, recently was Westworld. So if you want a cool show, check out Westworld. I enjoyed it. But apparently she has been added to the cast in Han Solo, and she was interviewed by Oprah and told her it's like, yes, I'm in, and it's very exciting, but I cannot tell you anything, and it's very hard to not do that. So, yeah, so she is officially in, I believe. So That's cool because you don't lie to Oprah because she will eat your soul. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. But she's very psyched about it. I know her kids are psyched or something along those lines. But it should be interesting because she's a great actress. So, and the next story.
This is for you.
Ah, yes. So these are the Star Wars pops for San Diego Comic-Con coming up this summer.
And also, there's a Walgreens exclusive.
Oh, okay.
As well.
Oh, okay. I didn't really look into this very closely. I just saw it. It was like I feel like a fan of our show sent us this. They posted it on our.
Yeah, it was Brothers.
Was it Brothers? Okay. Hey, Jason. I didn't want to say it because I wasn't sure. So yeah, this is cool. Like I know there's a whole bunch of Funko things coming out for San Diego, but seems to be the first wave of Star Wars stuff. We might get more. But as you can see on the screen, there's some really exciting ones. For those listening, there is, I believe that's a larger one, so like 6-inch, a Snoke, holographic Snoke sitting on a throne, a la Force Awakens. So it doesn't really reveal anything, but it's cool because everybody loves Snoke. Then we also get a Princess Leia and R2 2-pack, and of course, Princess Leia is holographic. So
she's kind of a big for that holograph. She should have been like a mini pop.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it would be really cool to see that, and I'll go back to that in a second. And then we finally get our hands on a Bodhi Rook, and then there's that's a tank trooper from Rogue One, and then that looks to be a clone trooper. I can't read what
that's the Walgreens exclusive. That's Commander Cody.
Yeah, that's Commander Cody. Okay,
and he's holding and he's got Palpatine. In his hand.
Order 66. Okay,
yeah.
That's exciting. I probably want like Commander Cody.
Yeah, no, seriously.
But yeah, so that's really cool. Funny enough, when they announced that the next Smuggler's Bounty was droids, I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if it was like an R2 with a holographic land? Here we are. But now we know that we get a naked C-3PO in the next Smuggler's Bounty. So that's exciting. Very cool stuff. Yeah,
these are awesome.
I am not going to San Diego, so yeah.
But Fatty Fan Theories is.
Yeah, well, hopefully. Yes, and this Friday? Today is what? No, this Saturday. Today is the 8th. Today is Thursday.
Well, depending on when you're watching it.
Yeah. The EA will be streaming the Assault on Theed from the upcoming Battlefront 2 for Xbox/PS4. Please come out for Xbox. Thank you. There will be a gameplay live stream. And what's cool about this is it won't be like the creators of the game so much playing it, but they will get very popular Twitch players to be playing it. So I'm not a big Twitch follower. I do find it interesting, and I've been on our friend Dave's Twitch.
I will be one of the Twitchers because I'm huge on Twitch. That's like the Flintstones.
Yeah, Twitch streamers.
Right? No, okay.
And there will be there will be 20 people. Will be teams? Yeah, 2 teams of 20 people playing. Apparently, game changers, YouTube stars, Twitch streamers, and more. From Jack Frags to Darkness 429. I do not know if these are specifically Twitchers or YouTubers. That's cool though. I don't know who these people are, but like that's an exciting. I like that. Like I feel like not that we get stuff like this all the time, but I feel like that's a kind of unique way to do it, and it's smart because they will know how to play properly, even though it's a new game, and also have feedback. So it should be interesting to watch. I will be at work, of course, because I don't have free time, but it's Saturday at 12:30.
Are you going to Andrew Fantasia's birthday party?
I can't now because I have to work,
dude.
And
whatever.
My schedule changed so many times. I could have gone. You know what? Happy birthday to Andrew, because I believe today is his actual birthday.
June 8th.
Yeah.
So
happy birthday to Andrew Fantasia. You're an old man. Why are you going to the Mandarin?
We will not make you canon.
For non-Canadians, we have a chain of Chinese restaurants called The Mandarin, which is fantastic. I don't know what to compare it in America or Europe or wherever you are. But it's a buffet. It's a buffet. It's your typical, but it's a bigger style buffet. And Andrew's having a lunch there. which is he's turning 30, so you'd think it'd be a little bit more.
Well, no,
but that's what he wants to do.
He's old. He can't be out anymore.
Yeah, okay. 30 is the new 70, apparently.
Yeah, it is.
I cannot go, which kind of sucks because I do enjoy Mandarin, even though it makes me feel like crap after.
All right, enough of that.
Happy birthday for him. And everybody's favorite Star Wars leakers, Making Star Wars, has told us that we will get a new variation of the Royal Guards. If you don't remember, they are the red stormtrooper-looking
those ones.
Characters in Return of the Jedi. And apparently, if we remember a couple episodes ago when we got the list of new action figures and it said Victor, and we assumed that was Snoke, in the same list there was Praetorian Guards. And apparently, Making Star Wars has confirmed that they will be a variation of the Royal Guards. So they will be red, but it'll be less cloaks, and they will have more of a streamlined armor. So they've revealed that, and of course, Lumberjack Nick drew a picture of it. So that's neat. That's basically the story. I don't know. What do you think? I know you just said you're excited for it. I'm cool.
They're one of my favorite looking things in the original trilogy. Apparently now they're gonna have their like batons with the electro on it.
Yeah,
the stormtroopers had and stuff. So it'll be cool. I don't know. They might just be in the background. It won't really matter.
Which makes me question because it's like Phasma has a new like spear staff, and all these shock troopers have their own, or the First Order troopers have this. I question if we're going to get a lot of melee fighting, which could we get a lot of fighting with lightsabers and this stuff? I don't know.
I think remember a couple of weeks ago we talked about the possibility of Luke and Rey searching for more Jedi?
Yeah.
And this could end with a giant battle with a bunch of Jedi and a bunch of bad guys duking it out.
That'd be very cool.
I would be totally.
But there just seems to be a very large focus on hand-to-hand combat in this
I think that also shows the difference between the First Order and the Empire, where the First Order is accepting of this trait, the skill of the Jedi, where the Empire was like, they don't exist. And now you have to learn this in order to succeed in life.
Coolio.
All right, moving on. All right, it's our final topic of the day.
Top 5.
It's a big one, a big top 5, some would say. Vehicles. Top 5.
We have run out of ideas.
No, it's top 5 vehicles. This was brought to us on Facebook by Giuseppe Angeletta.
Thank you, Giuseppe.
Thank you very much. And like we said, follow us on, subscribe, join that Facebook group, and we will ask, we'll ask for your suggestions on top 5 for the time of the odds and all that stuff. We want to hear what you want us to talk about. So we just want to talk Star Wars with everyone and have a giant conversation.
Yep.
Essentially. All right, Brock, top 5 vehicles. What's your number 5?
Mine was going to be speeder bikes, which I believe at one point they were being called swoop bikes.
And now, I don't know if you heard this rumor that there's a one in the Han Solo film. A bike trooper is riding one in the Han Solo film.
Just like, they're just cool. Like, yeah, with the Imperial Scouts, but like throughout, as Star Wars kept going after that, they've always tried to, like, they're in a lot of video games. They're in the shows and what have you. They're just cool. They're sleek. They float. They're cool motorcycles.
I love them, dude. My number 5 is a Luke's speeder, Luke's land speeder.
Wow.
I love that vehicle. One of my favorite designs. I wanted that car when I was a kid. Sadly, you cannot have it because things do not hover in Earth, so I can never get it. So that's why I didn't drive. That's why I haven't driven. I don't drive anymore. I drive.
Oh.
I just drove here, and I listen to great songs on the way here.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
Radio's
just
terrible.
Terrible
songs. Number 4 for me is Anakin's interceptor from Revenge of the Sith that he used at the beginning. And he fights the Viper drone. I love that. I love that ship. I have a little diecast of it as well.
Nice. Number 4 for me is Sandcrawlers.
Nice.
Jawas.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
They just missed my list.
And I feel like there's way more to them than we are seeing. I think there's a lot of like visual guides of ships and vehicles from Star Wars, and there's a cross section. It's like, this is where they put the droids, and this is where they live, and this is where they have dance parties. Jawa Dance Party.
Jawa Dance Party. That's the new spin-off for 2023. What's your number 3?
Pod racing. Because I feel like it needs to be on there. I'm trying to stay away from the obvious choices of... Because we've done it before, and hey, let's talk about other things. Pod racers are cool. I agree with you. I would really like to see more pod racing, even if it's just for a section of a movie. Not even a section. Like, oh, there's a pod racer right there. That'd be cool. I mean, yeah.
Anakin's pod racer, my number 3. Can't make that up. Can't make it up. I love it.
Is it true that you cannot, in fact, teach that?
You can teach it. And I did. My number 2 is the J-Type 327 Nubian Royal Starship. It is Amidala's ship from the Phantom Menace. I love that ship. I also have a little diecast of that ship. I got that actually in, I believe, 1999 or 2000, that ship. I've had that for a long time. Mm-hmm. I love it. It's got a little R2 when you lift it up. Best introduction of any of the Star Wars characters was R2-D2 in the Phantom Menace. Learning how he came into the fray. That's one of my favorite. I love that starship. It's very clean, very slick.
Yeah.
And new, something that we weren't used to seeing. I love it. It's completely opposite from my number 1. Brock, your number 2.
Number 2, Jabba's skiff.
Nice.
It's just cool. It looks like a ship. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Jason. This is so topical. I like the look of it. I like how it has sails, even though it's like that's just like a spaceship. But I also think it's funny how there's all that open space on the top. And I granted, like, it's whatever. But they're all inside or whatever because they look through the hatches and stuff. But they have all that room upstairs. But it is Tatooine and super hot. So maybe that's not enjoyable. I don't know the science. James.
Number 1, the Millennium Falcon. Look.
Yeah, there was no rules on this one. So
you could say whatever you want, but it's the best vehicle in the galaxy.
For sure. I just...
Yeah, you just...
You've done it.
Well, it's your number 1.
That's a good imitation of me.
James, I have to work a baseball game.
My number 1 is Luke's speeder.
Because it's awesome.
It's awesome. Like, why not have it? And it's like the original
pod racer.
Han
Solo's car is a pod car.
I always found it fun when, like, that was like the thing they would always point out when they started remastering. It's like, well, it was just a thing on a thing, so we didn't have digital rendering, so we just put Vaseline on it, so it looks like it's just a shadow. I'm like, yeah, making it happen. So yeah. That's top 5.
I think that was a good top 5.
Brought to you by Jawa's dance parties. Because a dance party don't stop till a Jawa gets roasted.
Has anyone ever seen the Qui-Gon Jinn Pop figure?
Oh, I'm sure.
Because I have this Grievous and I have the Anakin Pop.
Yeah, but like you had to go to somewhat extreme lengths to get them.
No.
I mean, people got them for you, but...
Yeah, that's besides... No, I bought my own Anakin. Let's get that out of... No, but the thing is, he's on the back of these ones, and I've never... even seen like a physical, like I've never seen it in the flesh.
Pretty
you know
sure
what I mean?
It's out because Funko does this thing where like they put pictures of stuff and it doesn't come out immediately. Like even on the example of this, like for a long time they didn't. Maybe this is not the best example, but there's a few of these. I know in other like there was a Harley Quinn with a mallet that was like it took forever for it to come out. I'm like, when is that coming out? I don't know. They put the picture on there and then they release it when they feel like it, which is smart because now they just lead the market in collectibles.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. Just go on Amazon.
You can't go on Amazon.
Have you actually searched for?
No.
Then
yeah, but I never searched for these ones either, and I see it. I'm just saying. This is awesome though.
Yeah, thank you again, Jason. That's fantastic.
And thank you for everyone. This is also going to be changing. You're going to see some changes here. From some
when I'm home for more than 6 hours, we'll work on it.
So October. And yeah, thank you everybody for watching. As always, we really appreciate it. Join us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And I think that's all we're on.
Yep.
And the social media side, we're always here on YouTube. We love your comments. We love talking back to you and having a great conversation about the Wars of Stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. And tomorrow night's Vote of No Confidence is about Snoke.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Clickbait. Oh, what am I not supposed to say? Edit this out. Edit this out.
I think it's actually, I was recording it, but I didn't really pay attention. But I think it's actually a good conversation.
Sweet.
It has to do with something we talk about all the time. So anyway, that'll be out tomorrow. Maybe we'll do, or that Saturday, tomorrow or Saturday, I'm not sure. And then we'll have some other fun stuff coming up. And if you're available, we'll be doing more. And be sure to check out, we'll talk about it next week in full, the full TeePublic design contest.
Yeah.
You design Rebel Scum Podcast t-shirts using our faces.
Please use our faces.
These are the rules that we had. It's our face and the logo. That's it. The logo.
Rebel Scum Podcast. Have you heard of it?
Thanks, guys. As always, I'm James Razile at Petsafina. You can find me, and this is
At BF Smink. Brock. Ferdinand Smink. No. Franklin. Yeah, check me out. And check this guy out, because this is the Rebel Scum Pass. Blah, blah, blah.
May the force of others be with you.
Always.
Just sad.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.